Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we want to thank God that He has allowed us to be here again and to be able to continue where we ended yesterday. Yesterday, we gave the definition of human rights law, and we also said the human rights law has got four components. There is what is called civil rights, then there is economical rights, then there is uh, political rights, and also there are social and cultural rights. So we need now to look at uh, the some laws that have been enshrined in the Bill of Rights. So I gave some notes on the general human rights according to the United Nations. So today I will just give you uh, the act or the Bill of Rights Act according to Zambian law. Um, uh, I want us to look at all that the documents that I'm offloading. The other thing is that I want you to download the Zambian Constitution uh, so that it may be able also to guide the human rights. So, um, why should we have all these human rights? The reason why we should have these human rights are to protect every person from any harm or from being the rights to be violated. The government of Zambia and other states have the mandate to uphold and to ensure that the citizens of the country are protected in their rights. When we talk about the human rights, we are talking about the rights that has nothing to do with how much one has, whether one is a politician, whether one is in authority, whether one is in power. These are inherent powers, inherent uh, powers that we or rights that we have, which nobody should be able to infringe on us. In the human rights in the Bill of Human Rights, it gives the fundamental rights that each and everyone possesses, and those are the rights that you stand for. As the legal counselors, our major duty is to ensure that, or when the rights of people are being violated, we have to take necessary measures and also connect people to necessary boards that deals with human rights violation. Um, I'm going to give some human rights or some of the boards that deals in human rights. These mostly are called commissioners. So I'll give some of the commissioners that are in charge of protecting the human rights in Zambia. And those are where you can do the report in any violation of the human rights. We may not necessarily have the judicial power to do the lawsuit as the legal counselors, but I think there are bodies that are responsible and that are accountable to ensure that the citizens are protected and every person enjoys the rights that that person is supposed to enjoy. So let me just write down some of the commissioners that helps in the human rights or in the case where one's rights are violated. Above are some of the commissioners that we have to seek judicial or we have to seek human rights protection. In Zambia, there are a lot of commissions that have been established, and most of the commissions that have been established are for a purpose of protecting our rights. So we have got the Human Rights Commissioner, and we have got Judicial Complaints Commissioner, we have got the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, we have got the Police Complaints Commissioner, we have got Consumer Rights and Protection Commissioner. Now, what is the work of all these commissioners? The Human Rights Commissioner is the one that is responsible for any complaint that one feels his rights or her rights have been violated. Um, it is the obligation of the civil society, and according to the laws of Zambia, that the government of Zambia and the laws of Zambia allows the civil societies organizations to be able to help in the insurance that the human rights are protected. So the Human Rights Commissioner is given the charge to uphold and to ensure that the rights of citizens are upheld. And when we talk about the rights of citizens, we are talking about all the rights that pertains to the Bill of Rights, and also all the rights that are contained in the Constitution. Then we have got the Judicial Complaints Commissioner. The Judicial Complaints Commissioner this commission has been established to ensure that there is a fair in the judicial in the application of law. Because when someone suspects uh, sus- suspect of foul play during the trial or in the judicial line, it is very important to bring it to the judicial commissioner, whereby you have to state, or you have to write the commissioner, or you have to go and lodge in the complaint physically on how you feel your rights, your judicial rights have been violated by a certain judicial staff, or the judicial or the judge, or the magistrate, or anyone who is in this commission, or in the judicial uh, in anyone who works in the judicial affairs, or anyone who is mandated to ensure justice. Then the Anti-Corruption Commission also is there to ensure that whereby when any suspect of corruption, it is reported to them, and the culprit is brought into book. Then we have got the Police Complaints Commissioner. This commission is the one that is in charge for all the complaints concerning the police. So if you have got any complaint, maybe you have been your rights or someone's rights have been violated in any way by the police officer or by the law enforcement officer, you report it to the police complaints commissioner, and the police complaints commissioner, they are going to hear your case, and they are going to bring on the fair we are tribunal, where you are going to speak, and that officer has to defend himself. And it's these commissioners, sometimes they work more like the courts. They have got the courts, which are called tribunals. Then we have got the Consumer Rights and Protection Commissioner. So the Consumer Rights and Protection Commissioner also, they are mandated to ensure that whatever, like the rights of the things that you are getting, the value and all the services that you are getting. So they are the ones that are in charge of this. There are other commissions that I may not recite, but these are some of the commissions that we have. But as people that are interested in justice and also who wants to help in the in shaping our nation on the judicial point of view or injustice. So I was saying that as people that are interested in the rights of citizen and human rights, I think it is very important that we should also be able to look at the gaps that have been left in these commissioners. Basically, you discover that, like from my study and from my understanding about these commissioners, they have got no much powers as they are supposed to have. Because when you look at the Human Rights Commissioner, I don't, I have, many times you'd find that there will be challenges, even if you complain, but you'd find that the complaints are not taken. And I don't know what basically the work that they have been doing, because I've been trying to look at these commissions, like also the anti-corruption commissioner and the other commission. We will just hear them when it has to do with political matters. But as I think we need to work on it as the civil society to ensure that these commissions, they have got the judicial power. I'll give you the example like the anti-corruption commission. The cases of corruption are very difficult to be, uh, not even difficult, but impossible for someone to be cited for corruption. Because if you report someone, like maybe at work, you report someone that no, he has violated my rights, and he asks for a bribe. For they will not take that, because they have the rules and the laws that are the ingredients that have been put for one to be convicted in corruption. They are very strict, and whereby you should produce the evidence. Which evidence can you produce when someone asks you that if you don't bribe me, I'm not going to give you a job? How are you going uh, to bring that person to book? He'll just say there'll be no things that will be, because the only thing that like what can make that I have qualified for this job, but I've not been given this job, and what? But that will also not institute that you there was corruption. That's why you were not picked. So there are a lot of violation of human rights, and it is very difficult, like when your rights are violated, for the commissioners to work on your rights. I think the one which I have seen it tries, it is the consumer protection. But now also it is not never the benefits of the complainant. For example, when you complain about MTN, like there have been a lot of complaints about MTN, Airtel, and these other Zesco and other service provider, and many times they have been convicted uh, of doing standing on the rights of consumers. But who has ever benefited from their conviction? We just hear that the commission has charged MTN so much. The commission has charged Airtel so much. But how do we benefit as the people that are taking the complaints? So there are a lot that has to be worked on this corruption, or in these human rights bodies. The other thing is that the major challenge is that most of these issues have much to do with law enforcement and also the politicians. Now they are the same people that also that makes these laws. So it is very difficult for these laws to be put in a way. They sometimes look like they are white horses. They are just there to as decorations in the nation, and we just see as they are just there to uh, share uh, taxpayers' money. But the confidence that I want to give you is that we have got these commissioners, which needs to be enforced, and they need a lot of enforcement. Also, like there is so much of violation of human rights uh, by the civil service and also by the politicians. Um, I remember, I think as Alliance for World Missions, we have gone through much of these challenges whereby our rights have been violated, and you are pushing things and uh, a lot. You know, when I was doing law, I remember the lecturer when I said I want to major in human rights law. He said there is nothing like human rights law because you just die of depression. You fight for the rights and you will die before those rights are uh, upheld. When you see with the zeal of being a student of law, I went up to the third year in the bachelor's of law, but when I was before I even completed, I found myself in a very challenging by trying to fight corruption, by trying to fight justice, by trying to fight that, which also led me not to even to complete my legal studies. So when you when you talk about these human rights, I think they need a lot of us to come together and to ensure that the authorities does what is right, because the corruption, the human rights violation and all that is done by the people on the top, and especially by the politicians, by the government that is in control. So they are the appointing authority of these commissioners. So it becomes very difficult when you have a fight with a politician, or you have a fight with a ruling party, or you have a fight with a civil servant, for you to penetrate and to express your righs. Uh, this I've proven it and I've seen it. I think most of the times I've written these bodies and I've even wrote the complaint. Like recently, I have been I told the commissioner, human rights commissioner, on radio when he was talking about what they do and what I said. But I've brought a lot of complaints and none of them has ever been handled. So there is a lot that needs to be done if we are to uphold the rights of people, the rights, the human rights. Otherwise, that's why we see people being detained for no reason, especially when you look at I will not have time to talk about the rights of the suspect and the powers of the police. I think I'll give you this as an assignment. When you look at that, you'd see that there is a lot of human rights violation. Someone is on the trafficking offense. Someone is put in cells. Someone is put in cells on the date whereby there is a contract on the issue. Someone is put. So there is a lot, especially in some of the law enforcement. When you go to the court, you'd find that there are a lot. You cannot express your rights, and if you try to do that, then you are seeking injustice to yourself. So there are a lot. Then, well, where there is no representation, you discover that the legal rights and other rights that the Constitution provides to us, they are not even going to be upheld. So there is a lot that has to be done. So we need to work so much, and we need to enforce and to ensure that these commissions and also the human rights are upheld in all sectors, in every area, the rights of the workers. You see, there is also a very difficult thing when you talk about the when you talk about industrial relations cases. It is very difficult for you to uh, for the employer to be charged. It has got There are a lot of laws. So what I'm saying is, like when it comes to the rights, I'm talking about some of the laws, like the labor law, tenants and land lords relationships, police, the powers of the police and uh, the suspect, and many uh, others that I may cite. You would find that these laws are biased. They are biased in the sense that, as I'm saying, like the labor law. The labor law does not favor the laborer. Even also the other commission that I didn't say it is the unions which fights for the rights of workers. But when you look at the rights of workers, it is it is just by words that you've got rights. Like when you look at the labor offices, they cannot do anything. When you take a case for any violation, they have got the rights to say, or the employers, if they don't want, they cannot even submit it. It's like the labor offices. It's like the lion without the tooth. You see, they may speak, they may say, no, you have to pay them, you have to pay them. But if you say, I will not pay them, there is nothing that they can do. What they'll just say is to write a recommendation to the court that, can you take this letter to the court? We have failed to agree. And when you take that letter to the court, the judge will also side the labor law, but the labor officers. But it is very difficult for the employer. The employers, they have got more powers than the employees. If the employer has not paid you or has stolen from you, it is a civil case. But if you steal a turning away from the employer, then it's a criminal offense. Same like the landlord and the tenant. Hey, me, I'm a tenant. I've got the rights. I know my rights as a tenant. Yes, you know your rights as the tenant, but the landlord has got overall rights and overall power over his property. So if he says, I don't want you in my house, there is nothing even what the court can do. So those are the some of the things. Now, the why is it like that? Because the people that are in authority are the ones that have been making the laws. They are the ones that have been doing this. That's why if you remember the Hitra uh, philosophy, whereby is it the Borgias and the what whereby the law is there to favor the elite, is there to favor the well-to-do, is there to favor, that is what they believe in. And those people that are down, they are not favored, they are not there is nothing, they have got nothing, they cannot fight for their legal rights. And even in this generation, the most surprising thing is that it is still happening when the United Nations have Commission of Human Rights. They have a lot of documentation. In Zambia, we have got a lot of documentation on human rights, and everywhere there are a lot of documentation on human rights, but the application, that is where the challenge is. So there is a lot of work that has to be done in judiciary and also in legal fraternal when it comes to the human rights and how a human can be protected. So there are also some rights that are coming, which are also the violation of other sectors on the human rights. Like there are a lot of enactments which gives women powers, which also violates some of the rights of human rights. Like there is equal. According to the constitution, there is equality between a woman and a man, but you would find that where the like defer or the like indecent assault. Indecent assault, it is the law which it is the case whereby if a man touches a woman, he is liable to imprisonment for not less than 15 years. But a woman can touch a man. There is nothing like what happened one time where the uh, police the woman had to um, bite the police officer on the cheek. That one, that woman was just sentenced for 6 months. But if that happened to a vice versa, if it was a male doing that to a female police officer, it was going to be not less than 15 years in imprisonment. So there are a lot, and when there is unfairness in the human rights, that's where now people revolt. And when people revolt against, that is where now the challenge comes in. So that's why the human rights have to be very fair always, and they should not favor whether one is male or female, whether is Mzungu or black, whether is what and what. The human rights, they are inherent. They have nothing to do where you come from. They should have nothing to do your sex, whether you are a male or you are a female or whatever. That is what the human rights is supposed to be administered. I think we cannot exhaust everything, so it is now we have laid the foundation. Now it is us now to begin researching and